Hey guys, Dr. Dex here. Today I thought it'd be interesting to do a material price breakdown for a 12 foot by 20 foot deck. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you like this video. All right, so what I did was I just took my current pricing for a project and I decided a 12 foot by 20 foot deck. I could have done a 10 foot by 10 foot breakdown quicker and easier, but I thought I'd do something that's more realistic. Like, what's the average deck size nowadays? What do people ask for? A lot of people are asking for a 12 foot by 20 foot deck. This pricing is for a deck that's below 3 feet off the ground. We'll say below 30 inches off the ground. There's no railing, no steps or anything like that. It's just for the deck cost. And that's gonna vary substantially depending on some of the materials you choose for the deck. You can substitute my calculations of pricing if you want to use a less expensive material, let's say for the deck boards or something like that. I tried to figure this out all the way down to the footings. So let's go from there, okay? So on a 12 foot by 20 foot deck, that's 240 square feet. For your footings, you're gonna need 3 footings. I'm assuming that you're going to be attaching to the house, so you don't have to have any beams near the house. You're gonna use the house as part of your support. If you're doing a freestanding deck, your costs are gonna go up because you have to have more than one beam. For a 12 foot by 20 foot deck, you're gonna have 3 footings usually, and those will be spaced 2 feet in from each end and then one in the center of the beam. That would give you about an 8-foot span between footings. So you're gonna go with probably a 4x8 beam, but the footings themselves, just in concrete, or let's just say you bought precast footing blocks and some adjustable tops for it, you're probably spending $35 for each footing. You need 3 of them, so that's 105 bucks. Your footing price can go up if you decided to use helical piles. Those are gonna be closer to $400 a piece. If you're gonna hand dig and pour concrete, you're gonna have your concrete costs plus whatever you're gonna use for a bracket, either on top of that concrete or you're gonna use a wet bracket in the concrete. Those can be $60 a piece. So you'd be at 180 plus your concrete costs. You'd probably have 5 bags a hole. Well, it depends on the size of the footing you gotta dig as well. Where I come from, I can get away with a smaller footprint and less depth. So my concrete cost may only be at $4 a bag, and we used to say 5 bags, you'd be $20. So your metal that you're gonna put in the concrete probably costs more. So let's just say, we'll round up and say 30 bucks for the concrete per footing, plus we'll be generous and say $50 a piece for the brackets. So you're at $80 a footing. So your footing cost can be $240. I was budget friendly at $105. For a less expensive type of footing, but you could be $250 or more depending on if you go with those helical piles. We do quite often do helical piles, so we feel it's one of the best ways to suspend a deck. All right, once your footings are done, you're gonna have the posts coming up from the ground. Now, depending on the height of your deck, that will also determine the price of those posts. I'm gonna keep this deck relatively low, so my post costs are only gonna be 50 bucks. But if you know the height of your deck, you can calculate how many posts you might need and the price of those posts by just calling your local lumberyard and getting a cost for them. Your beam, we're gonna use one 20-foot 4x8 beam will be sufficient for this deck at $81. So your joists, you're gonna need 20 joists. Depending on how close together you want to span them, 12 inches on center, 16 inches on center, kind of depends on the type of decking you're going to use. We're going to use AZEK decking on ours, so we're going to run our joists like 14, 15 inches on center. I'm just saying for safety that we're going to need 20 joists. They're 21 bucks a piece. So that's $420 for your joists. So anywhere from $420, you might spend a little bit more because you're gonna need a couple 20 footers in there, but I'm just calculating 20 joists at $21 each. Your decking could be the most expensive investment of the project. We're gonna need 26 pieces for a 12-foot deck at $125 a piece. That becomes $3,250 of your investment is in the deck boards. Now, yes, you can change products. You can probably save about $3 a lineal foot by using a cap composite, which is around $6 a square foot savings if you don't want to spend that for that premium decking product. But I went ahead and went on the high side just to give you guys an idea of what a premium product would cost for this deck. And then for a nice look, you're going to want to wrap that deck in fascia. Depending on how you wrap the deck is also going to change your fascia costs. The way we do it, we usually use a solid deck board on top and then put some thinner fascia below. On average, that costs us around $11.50 a lineal foot. To do that, we have 44 feet on this deck because one side's attached to the house. We got to wrap 3 sides of it. That's $506 for fascia. That might seem a little high just for the materials, but man, it's gonna look so much nicer than if you just leave it raw. Then we have our screws, our hidden clips, our nails, and maybe some hardware, some joist hangers and tension ties and things like that. So I put a budget for all that stuff of $800. Again, that might vary, but usually stainless steel screws, you're gonna buy a decent sized box of those. That's 300, 400 bucks. All your hardware, 100, 200. If you wanna use stainless steel face screws or hidden clips are a couple bucks a square foot. So that'd be $400 and $500 in clips if you do it that way. And you're still gonna need some nails and screws to assemble the deck as well, some structural stuff. So I think $800 is a fair amount to get you into all the hardware you need to build the deck. All those tallied for a 12 foot by 20 foot deck at 240 square feet is $5,212. Averages out to about $21.71 a square foot. You can probably get that price down a little bit, or maybe you go up a tidge from there. So that's approximately what you're gonna pay. So for a 12 foot by 20 foot deck, you're looking about $5,000, a little over $5,000 or $5,000 and some change. And that'll get you a nice 12 foot by 20 foot deck that if you build yourself, you could probably save at least half, if not more, depending on who builds it for you. So thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming to this channel. If you like this video or if it helps you, maybe decide if that's in your budget and that's how you want to build a deck or how much it costs, click that subscribe button, hit the bell icon to be notified when we're putting out new content. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.